What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I think one of the most interesting things that we're seeing when we're looking at these gas prices and just the economy overall is the lack of the White House to see this as a serious emergency for the American people. Obviously, this conflict with Iran is causing prices of gasoline to go up, and people are feeling it. But the White House is not really, basically what they're saying is this is temporary, short-term pain, long-term gain, all of this stuff that they're putting out there, these talking points. But the reality is they're not taking it very seriously. They're not saying we feel your pain when it comes to the American people. Now, the American people were promised a lot. President Trump promised them the world before he became president again. He said that he was going to bring down prices at the grocery store. He said he was going to bring down prices overall. He had all of these plans, all of these things that he was going to do and that he said he was going to do. And he hasn't accomplished any of them. And so now, not only are people struggling because they're paying more at the grocery store, but they're also paying more at the pump. And this is something that just a couple of months ago, President Trump was saying, look at gas prices. They're down to like $2 a gallon. Even though that wasn't really realistic because we're looking at the average price of gas, it wasn't down at $2, but he was saying that. And now the president can't say that anymore. But not only is he not saying that, he is not doing anything to comfort the American people and say, hey, we'll work this out. And so, it's almost like he's ignoring the fact that people are paying more at the pump, when he was just a couple of months ago saying how great it was that people were paying less at the pump. And so I'm going to show you a clip of people just talking about how dissatisfied they are with gas prices. So we'll take a look at that. Then we're going to take a look at the Senate map. I want to talk a little bit about the midterm election because this is going to have a major impact on the midterm election. So we're going to do all that in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this clip and then we'll come back. Here we go.
They're unaffordable, especially with big trucks. It's crazy money.
So it's $4.09 here today. Is that expensive for you?
Yeah, it's very expensive. I feel like we was at $3 like 2 months ago.
They're out of control. It's crazy. Yeah.
You're still actively filling up and you're at $83.
Yeah.
Where are you going to?
I think we might hit 90.
We don't really know what the mission is. Are they going to get out of there soon, or this could go on for a long time, and then it would really get bad. As far as keep paying and paying and paying, without really having a gain, we don't really know what the gain's going to be.
And I think that last gentleman said it best. What is the mission? What does a victory look like? We don't even know. And so that's something that's weighing on people because they're looking at this conflict in Iran. First off, we still haven't received information on why are we there? We've heard the president say, well, they were close to creating a nuclear bomb. Okay, if that's the case, show us the evidence. Why did you feel that way? Why did you feel the urgency to go in there in the first place? And remember, just a few months ago, we bombed Iran, and the White House indicated that we destroyed their capabilities. They would not be able to create a nuclear weapon. And now we're in a conflict with them. And the reason why we're in a conflict is because they were going to be able to create a nuclear weapon. And so the mission, why are we there? What does it look like when we finish? We don't have that information. And so that is something where, there's no end in sight is basically what I'm saying. We don't have that clear information coming from this current administration. And so what that means is you're going to have a lot of people out there that are going to be uncertain about the future, uncertain about your gas prices. When are they going to come back down? And so that, they're not just people, but you're going to have businesses that are looking at this same situation. They're going to be raising their prices across the board because remember, if gas prices increase, we have to pay more because transportation costs will go up. And if transportation costs goes up, they're going to charge these grocery stores more and these department stores more, and they're going to pass that cost on to the consumer. And so not only are we going to be paying more to put gas in our tank, but we're going to be paying more to have those products on the shelves in the grocery store. And so I anticipate we're going to see more and more videos like this of people really frustrated with gas prices. And it's not just going to be gas prices, it's going to be the price of other items going up as well. And so now I want to take a look at the Senate map. And the reason why I want to take a look at the Senate map is when we're looking at, let's go back to the House map. So the House map, Democrats have a real good possibility of taking back control of it. It's likely that Democrats will take back control of the House. They only need to net 3 seats. And usually, historically speaking, the party that is not in power, so the president is a Republican. Right now, we have the president Republican. You have the House run by Republicans. And then you also have the Senate run by Republicans. Usually in a midterm election, you're going to see a change there in the House. You're going to see Democrats take back control of the House, or if it was the other way around, Republicans would take back control of the House. And so this is no different when we're looking at the information coming out, and being that this House margin is so very close, Democrats will most likely take back the House. Now, when we look at the Senate, it's a little bit different. Republicans do have an advantage in the Senate. They have an advantage to maintain the Senate. If we're looking at the current numbers, Democrats and independents are at 47, Republicans are at 53. So that means Democrats need to net 4 Senate seats in order to take back control. That's not an easy task. But the more and more we look at this map and we hear the different candidates that are going to be running in these states, we're starting to see that Democrats do have a pathway to take back control of the Senate. And a lot of it has to do with what's going on, the economy, gas prices, this conflict in Iran. All of that is playing on these different Senate seats. And so I want to just show you a quick pathway that Democrats have to take back control of the Senate. So if we're looking at this current map, Democrats have a good opportunity to win in North Carolina. Roy Cooper is doing well. I think Democrats have their best opportunity to flip North Carolina. And then when we look at Maine and when we look at Alaska, Democrats also have an opportunity to flip both of those states. Right now, it's pretty much even money. We're looking at a toss-up at this point because you have Peltola in Alaska. She's running neck and neck with Sullivan, who's a Republican incumbent. We're looking at Maine. Susan Collins is struggling in Maine. You have Plattner in some of the latest polling. Plattner was up like 7 or 8 points over Collins. And Collins is the incumbent. And so if we were to see it as a Plattner versus Collins, Democrats have the best opportunity. But they also have Mills, who's a Democrat, who's running. So it's going to be between Mills and Plattner. They're going to have to, in the primary, we'll have to see who the Democratic candidate is going to be. But even Mills is showing neck and neck with Collins, or in some polling, it's showing that Mills is slightly ahead or Collins is slightly ahead, depending on what polls you're looking at. But when we're looking at these 3 states, I think Democrats have a realistic possibility of winning in those states, those 3 states. Now, that's not enough because you remember I said they need to net 4 seats. If they net just these 3 seats, it's going to be Democrats and independents at 50, Republicans at 50. The tie goes to the vice president, who is a Republican, and so Republicans would still maintain control of the Senate. And so Democrats would need to win 1 more state. And when we look at some of the states out there, Ohio, Texas, Iowa, you see that Democrats have a possibility of flipping one of those states or even more. But I think their best opportunity to flip that 4th state, I think that's going to be Ohio. I think Sherrod Brown has the best opportunity just looking at the states that we have left there, so Texas or Iowa. Now, I do think Tallarico will do well in Texas and could potentially win in Texas. And so that is still, in my opinion, still within that pathway that Democrats would have, but I think their best opportunity would be Iowa. So if we're looking at the 4 states, we're looking at North Carolina, Maine, Iowa, and Alaska. That's a pathway that I can see Democrats use to take back control of the Senate. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about all this? Gas prices, the conflict in Iran, the cost of grocery prices, all the promises that President Trump made and he hasn't kept. Let me know what you think down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more. And remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.